In this week's episode of Dentside Depot, we are going to look at the top 10 bring-a-trailer options from 2024. I'm going to give you my personal top 10 trucks, what I think were the best. So stay tuned, let's see what we got and what made it at number 1. Okay, now in order to qualify for my top 10 list, the bring-a-trailer auction must have ended with an actual sale. So if the truck did not sell, it's not eligible to make my top 10 list. Also, I just want to let you know that I am more inclined to put factory or stock looking trucks in the top 10, so highly modified trucks just simply didn't make my top 10 because I don't appreciate those trucks as much as I do a factory correct truck. Okay, coming in at number 10 today is a 1979 F-150 Custom Explorer 4x4 that sold in May for $29,500. It is silver, it has bushwhacker fender flares on it, it appears to have weld wheels on it, a dual exhaust side exit, which is really cool. This is a really cool truck. It's not a perfect truck, but it's definitely a really cool truck. This truck also has the Explorer Package B, which makes it a little more luxurious. You can see right here we have the correct stitch pattern, which I definitely really like. But the interior looks awesome in this truck, and just overall it's a really nice truck that you can drive and not have to worry about that much. So number 10 on our list is 79 Explorer. Number 9 on our list is not a truck that you would expect to make a top 10 because it is a F-250 two-wheel drive truck. Now, I actually wanted to purchase this truck because I love it so much, and I was watching this auction very closely, and I was surprised when it sold in April for $21,250. I thought this would go in the low teens at the most. But condition, and this truck is in amazing condition. I believe it was a one-owner truck, a military-owned truck, or the gentleman who owned the truck was in the military, which I also really like. But what I really love about this truck are the colors. It is light blue. A lot of people call it the robin's egg blue with the dark blue metallic as the two-tone, and I really love that combination. Of course, it is a super cab. It is an XLT, so it has the fancy trim on it. It is a trailer special. And so, someone either added camper special or trailer special to it because I do not believe you can have both on the same truck from the factory. But I love what they did because I would have done the same exact thing, is to have both of those options, and it doesn't really make sense that Ford didn't offer both of those options because if you're pulling a camper, you might also be pulling a trailer too, so why not have both? But this truck just looks really good, maybe a little bit of rust over the wheel wells, but this particular truck would be an outstanding candidate to do a Super Duty axle swap in because really the only thing it is missing is four-wheel drive. It has a 460 engine, it has the great interior. I mean, everything on this truck is right, and it is absolutely spectacular. I just love the originality of this particular truck. Number 8 on our list is another little bit of a surprise. We have yet another two-wheel drive truck. It's a 79 Ford F-100 Ranger with the Lariat package, and that's why it made the list, is because it is a Lariat. It sold for $30,250 also in April of 24, and I really, really love the combination on this truck. It is a deluxe two-tone delete, so it is black on black with black and silver accent and interior, so it is a triple black truck with silver accent, which is very, very, very desirable combination on this truck. It is a short bed. Of course, it's two-wheel drive, but I don't care. It looks awesome, and I would be stoked to have a truck this nice in my collection. The bumpers look great. The chrome looks great. The paint looks great. I'm assuming that that is the original paint. It's hard to tell, but it looks really, really, really good all around. Just a really nice truck. Everything looks absolutely fantastic on this truck. The interior looks spectacular, and I would imagine that if the current owner of this truck went to resell it, they would definitely be able to get their money back out of it, or maybe even sell it for a little bit more, because I just really appreciate how nice this truck is. It looks like it has tilt wheel. This is everything you could ever possibly want in an F-100 for sure. Okay, number 7 on our list is the one and only Highboy that made my top 10, and really it's a surprise at all that a Highboy made my top 10 because I always tell people steer away from a Highboy because they have that really difficult steering system on them that is not the best. But this truck I just love so much that I had to put it in my top 10. It's a 77 F-250 Ranger XLT 4x4, of course. It's been $390 swapped. It sold for $43,000 in May of this year, and I love the combinations on this truck being dark blue on dark blue, which is exactly what my dad's truck was back in the day, and that's really what drew my eye to this particular truck. No, it's not perfect. The frame needs to be sanded down and painted, but the color combinations on this truck are perfect for me, and it appears to be essentially all original. It just looks so, so good. I would not really make many changes to this truck. I'd consider changing the steering system on it, probably put a Dana 60 Kingpin up in the front, put a power steering box on it, and really I wouldn't touch anything else on this truck. That's how much I love it the way it is. A lot of people love the round headlights. A lot of people love the mid-70s grills rather than the late 70s grills. This truck is just really, really nice. Someone got a really good truck here, and I think with a little bit more work, cleaning up the chassis and getting everything painted and doing the lowboy steering conversion, you would have a really, really great truck that you could be proud to own for a really long time. So another really great truck here in our top 10. Let's move on to our next one. Okay, number 6 on our list is really no surprise. It's a 79 F250 custom 4x4 with the Explorer package. It kind of reminds me of my Junior Mint build, except it's blue, pastel blue instead of the pastel green like Junior Mint. But this truck has essentially everything that you would want. It has the perfect color combination. It has the Explorer package on it. It is all original with little to no rust whatsoever. I love everything about this truck. I would essentially not change anything on it. I would put a Dana 60 Kingpin front axle in it, and essentially that would be the only thing I would change on this truck. Maybe 460 swap it as well, but I would not touch this truck whatsoever. It is so original and so perfect. It's the same color combination as my 79 F100, the same exact truck. Of course, it is missing the Explorer stripes. Very common for those to be faded away, but you can, of course, add those back on. That'd be one other thing that I would do. But this truck just absolutely looks the part. I don't know if I like the chrome wheels. I'd probably go with white wheels instead. That's kind of my look. But really, this truck is just absolutely great, and no wonder it went for big money because it is absolutely gorgeous. Next up on our list, we have another F-150, but this one is a 4x4 1979 XLT with a 4-speed. It sold for $26,000 in January of this year, and it was an alumni. It actually sold for less than what it sold for in 2021. But the reason I love this particular truck so much is not just because it is 4-wheel drive, but it is also short bed, and that makes it extremely desirable. And then on top of that, this particular two-tone color combination is actually my favorite. Now, the colors are technically dark brown metallic and coral orange, I believe is what they call it, or coral red, one or the other. But I like to call it root beer over competition orange, or competition orange over root beer is what I would personally refer to it as. This appears to be the original paint on this truck. It's not perfect. The truck has some dents. It needs a little bit of work. I don't care. It looks absolutely awesome just the way it is. The chrome looks good. It does have some faded paint. It has some chips. It has some scratches. It has a couple dents. It doesn't matter. This is the exact kind of truck that you want to have because you have a great looking truck, and you also have a truck that you can drive and not have to completely worry about. It's not perfectly original. It has some interior modifications to the door panels, which we can see right here, but again, I don't mind that at all. I personally think that looks very attractive. So this truck just looks the part. I love how it's a 4-speed. Really, everything about this truck I love. I wouldn't change a single thing on this truck. I like the wheels the way they are. Everything on this truck, I would leave it exactly as it is. I wouldn't change a single thing. I would just put it in my collection, and I would drive it just the way it is. This is a super awesome truck, and someone got a really good deal on this truck. It's going to be worth more than they paid for it over the coming years, and that is for sure. Okay, now we are up to number 4 on our list, and the top 4 trucks on our list are really where the premium trucks are coming in for 2024, the ones that were done in a factory style. This one is a F-250 Ranger Super Cab, 4x4 of course. It's been 460 swap, and it sold for $51,500 in October of this year, so just a few weeks ago. What really sets this truck apart is I love the color combination of the dark jade green metallic over silver. That's definitely very attractive. The paintwork looks pretty good overall. It does have some spots that are bubbling, a little bit of rust, but nothing too bad. The spots where the paint is bubbling is a very common place for these trucks to have bubbling paint, especially the super cabs, and there's just really not that much you can do about it. If you're driving them, it's going to happen over time. I love the way this truck looks. I have no reason to doubt that it doesn't have a very good restoration on it. It has the Bushwhacker fender flares that I love. I like the wheels on this truck. The chrome on the dark green is definitely the way to go. The two-tone on the roof also looks good. It has some good options on it. The interior looks really nice. As we can see right here, it's not perfectly correct and original, but it doesn't matter. It still looks really good. I like that it's cloth, to be honest. That's way better than vinyl in my opinion. It has some cool little aftermarket stuff on it. Someone got a great truck here. Being 460 swap does not reduce the value. People love the 460 over the 400 and the 351M. That's really what people want to see in these trucks. So that's a value add in most people, or pretty much everyone's book. It has air conditioning, the steering's been done. I mean, clearly this truck was completely gone over. It's in great shape. It looks like it's well cared for. And maybe even better, it also has a Dana 60 Kingpin front axle, which also caught my eye, which is definitely the axle that you want. So overall, this truck has everything that I would want in a super cab. I would do it the exact same way when doing a factory engine build. Needs a little bit of paint work underneath, but overall this truck is absolutely perfect. I wouldn't really change very much on this truck at all. Just a little bit more paint underneath and it'd be totally fine the way it is. Maybe a little bit of a lift kit, but you can see someone really took the time to do this truck right, and it definitely shows. Okay, now we are into the top three, and this is where decisions really start to get difficult. This particular truck caught my eye, and I thought it was going to go for a lot more money than it did. It just sold 3 weeks ago for $37,000, and the reason I thought this truck was going to go for a lot more money is because it's a 79 F350, but on top of that, it's a Ranger with Lariat, 4x4 obviously. These are the King Kong trucks of all the Dentsides. When you got a 79 F350, you were guaranteed a Dana 60 Kingpin front axle. That's what makes these trucks so valuable, is that they were a 1 year only truck. This particular truck has a really cool paint combination. Now, most of these F350s were bottom trim trucks. This one is not. It is a top trim truck, which is very unusual when you're talking about the F350s. Most of them are going to be work trucks. This one can do the work, but it also has the good looks of the appearance package being the Lariat. Now, it is a strange paint combination, that is for sure, and that may have been why the value did not go as high. But listen, if you have a paint combination like this, you have a truck that no one else is going to have. Would I prefer a truck that was maybe dark blue over Wimbledon white? Probably, but this particular truck is extremely unique and it has everything you want. I'd imagine in person this truck looks a lot better than it does in the pictures. It's a shame that it didn't go for more because I think it looks really good overall. Okay, and that brings us to number 2 on our list, and this one's a little bit of a surprise because when I started doing this, did not think that a 77 would be in my top 3, but it is, and it's a 77 F250 Custom, a base model truck, 4x4 obviously, and it's been 460 swap. Now here's the thing. All of the High Boys production was ceased of the High Boys in April of 1977. This is a post-April build or a late April build, early May build, whatever it may be. So it is technically a low boy. So you get the rare combination of having the split grille with the round headlights on a low boy truck, and they only made them for part of the year, and that's what this truck is, which makes it very unique. I also love the paint combination on this truck. Now, I'm not a huge fan of red interiors, but the black over red, for whatever reason with this truck, really does it for me, and it also has the really cool red stripe, and that's why I chose it as the cover truck for this particular video. It just really strikes me. I love how it has the white wheels with the big tires. That really does it for me as well. And that stripe, it's a factory stripe truck as well, which is also really cool. This is a base truck that someone probably ordered back in the day to do some serious work, and the fact that it's in this good a condition today being restored is why it sold for such big money. Because let's just face it, this truck is awesome. It's probably the truck that most people remember being in back in that time period, and that's why people would want a truck like this so much. It is immaculately restored underneath. I do not see any issues with this truck whatsoever from top to bottom. It has not a fancy Lamborghini sports car or something like that. I like trucks that you can actually drive, and this one is exceptionally above driver quality. The absolute only change that I would make to this particular truck is, again, I would add a Dana 60 Kingpin front axle. That 44 just comes right out, and the Dana 60 essentially just bolts right in. So it's a quick change to get a huge upgrade over the Dana 44. But regardless, this truck is immaculate. I love it. That's why it made number 2, and honestly, I considered it for number 1, but I had to take a little bit of my own opinion out of it. And with that being said, let's look at our top truck of 2024 on Bring a Trailer. And no surprise, it is a crew cab truck. This is the King Kong, the Godzilla. It's the truck that everyone wants and few can afford. It's a 79 F250 crew cab 4x4 that's been 460 swapped and immaculately restored. I think this is the nicest crew cab that was sold on Bring a Trailer in 2024. It is a base model truck. It has no trim on it. It's not a Ranger XLT. But it doesn't really matter because these trucks are so desirable, and this one has a very nice restoration on it. Now, it's hard to tell how good the paint is just seeing it in pictures, but from what I can see, the paint looks really, really nice. You could not build this truck for the $60,000 that it's sold for. It has everything that you want in a crew cab truck. I wish it was a Ranger XLT, but it does have a couple cool options. It did come factory with the push bar, although the Cactus Smasher is no longer added, but that could easily be put back on. The bright work, the grille, the chrome, everything looks really nice on this truck. I love the wheel and tire combination. Silver with black wheels, it definitely looks better than silver with white wheels, so I agree with that decision. Everything just looks really, really nice on this truck overall. And there's no way you could build this truck from scratch with what it's sold for on Bring a Trailer being $60,000. So really, this is probably the nicest truck that was sold on Bring a Trailer that was done in more of a factory style in 2024. It may not personally be my favorite. I kind of like the black one a little bit more, the 77. And I also really like the green Super Cab and the F350. But I think most people would agree that this was the top truck in a factory style in 2024 on Bring a Trailer. Lots of great trucks. Only a few of them made my list. We're going to see what happens in 2025 and how many more great trucks come up for auction. If you enjoyed this episode of Dentside Depot, remember to like and subscribe and keep restoring those classic trucks.